was a crazy month, December.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Super busy.
Signed up for Christmas ships like, what, a week before we started them? A week and a half, maybe? And then we went to Vegas.
To get warm.
Have some fun. And we came back. We decorated the boat a little bit before we left. And then the guys finished the top while we were gone. They busted their butts to get the top done for us.
The top to the boat.
Yeah,
What
top to the
kind
boat.
of top we're talking
Right.
about.
Yeah. Top to the boat. They really busted their...
They do need to go shopping.
Okay.
To get some new tops.
Some new tops. And then we came back. I think we landed, and 3 days later was our first trip out on the water for Christmas ships. We went all the way up to St. Helens for the first trip, wasn't it?
Yes, and it poured. It was so rainy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Foggy, because we don't have any defrosters in the windows or anything like a car does. So those windows just fog over.
Right.
And poor Jen's just going to town. I mean, she was like Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid, just wax on, wax off, wiping clean, and constantly all the windows up on the canvas windows. I can't remember what those plastic windows are called. The sides, the backdrop, everything. She was just going to town.
Yeah, it was. Of course, it's dark when you do the Christmas ships, and the rain and the fog and the window issue.
Right.
It was hard to even just see like your way out of the marina, let alone like all the maneuvers you have to do.
Right. And the intent was to run all the lights off the inverter. You know, that came with the boat when we bought it, and then run the heater off the generator. And that didn't work. The generator box I made did not work. It actually overheated the generator, so the generator kept shutting down, so we had no heat. And then the Christmas lights drew more than what I would expect. I think the house batteries are getting a little low, or they're not wired right. I got in there and looked, and I noticed that the last person didn't quite wire them right. But so the inverter wasn't able to keep up with the lights. So we were having light problems or energy problems on the boat while freezing.
In the boat top, when you get a new boat top, it takes a while for the seams to kind of seal, which we didn't know because it was raining and it was dribbling through the boat top. It wasn't dribbling. It was dribbling on me, but because I could move to other spots, I didn't get as wet, but Ted was just drenched with water.
Right, on the cold night.
Yeah.
And it's not the boat manufacturer's fault. That's those threads that they use. They have a coating on them, and you have to heat that coating up. So anytime you pierce a membrane, when you sew in the boat top, it creates a hole, a weak point, right? Mm-hmm. And so the thread has a coating on it that's supposed to melt and expand to fill that hole. But you can't. It's hard to get the sewing machine hot enough to melt that coating. And so what ends up happening is it takes a while for those threads to swell and to fill the holes. They gave me some wax. They came back out after Christmas ships were done, after we let the boat top dry here in the marina, and they went ahead and did an extra seal for me, and they gave me the wax stuff and showed me how to do it. I'll demo that for you guys some other time. But yeah, so the boat top works great now. There's no question. I didn't want any misconception on the boat top manufacturer and what they did.
Yeah, I was just glad I wasn't driving the boat because you got really soaked.
And then after St. Helens, we did 2 days in St. Helens, 2 days, 1 night in St. Helens.
We learned a lot about the maneuvering. So on the first night, like, you know, there's a lot going on, which I think we'll talk about in just a minute. But you have to follow the same boat for the maneuvers.
Right.
And so we were doing that, but one of the boats decided to leave, so we just followed them out.
Right. We hear on the radio, "Where you going, Almond Joy?" Following the guy in front of us. Yeah. So
we didn't quite make it to like,
right.
You know, Kelso. Or
no, it was within seconds. They realized we were out of formation. The problem was, like you said, we didn't know the boat names. Mm-hmm. So when that boat called out they were leaving because they had some issues, we didn't know which boat they were talking about.
Right.
You know, so we know some of the boat names now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But after St. Helens, we went from St. Helens to downtown Portland, to River Place Marina. Awesome marina.
Yeah.
Loved it. it's like having a little condo downtown for a little while. It was really cool.
Yeah, and it was nice because I work downtown a couple days a week or 3 days a week, and so it was nice because I could just have a short commute into work.
Right.
While we were doing the Christmas ships.
Yeah, I just worked from the boat and hang out, and yeah, it was fun.
And it was so nice that they all cleared space for us to moor the boat there. So if it wasn't for a river place, we would probably have just had a Multnomah channel, not a Multnomah or a Columbia fleet instead of a Columbia and Willamette fleet. So it made the Christmas ships bigger because you had two fleets that kind of worked together sometimes and separately other times.
The Willamette River is a smaller river compared to the big Columbia River, which dumps into the ocean. In fact, the Willamette River dumps into the Columbia River. So the smaller boats, we're 30 feet, absolute distance length overall. And we weren't the biggest, but we were on the larger size. Mostly it's fishing boats and other type boats in the Willamette because it requires more maneuverability. There's a lot of debris. It's a smaller river, so it's hard to fit the big ships in there.
Bridges. All the bridges you have.
Oh, the bridges. So the sailboats have a hard time in there, and even some of the taller yachts. They did bring the big Columbia fleet up the Willamette for the combined night for that last weekend, which was really cool to see everybody. And speaking of which, just the Christmas ships, 69 years this year, 70 years next year. Absolutely phenomenal. It's amazing. It's like a core piece of the culture here in Portland. The people we've watched them for years.
Yeah, we brought our kids when they were little to watch them.
Right. And we didn't know the breadth, the amount of people that actually enjoy it. It's a little different when you're standing on shore looking in. Mm-hmm. You're in your group of people watching it. But when you're in the Christmas ships, you can see the people on the shore, and it was thousands of people.
They had their light sticks screaming and yelling for us, and their fire pits, and they had house parties if you had like a
dock.
A dock.
It was
big
cool.
Crowds of people watching us.
Yeah, thousands. And we saw some of the docks, you could tell that they were sunk, not all the way down the water line, but they were down a little bit just from the weight of all the people out there. I think in Milwaukee, that entire waterfront was packed, and it's a big waterfront. And they had easy ups and tents up and things and vendors, and it's just an absolutely huge deal. And then we got to part of the Christmas ships is we include or participate with the Portland Spirit Fleet.
Yeah, so one of the maneuvers is to circle around the Portland Spirit to give them a little like personalized light show while they're eating dinner on the boat.
Right.
We did that, I think, every night except for the first night.
Yeah, they weren't up in the St. Helens area. Mm-hmm. So the Willamette River, as we talked about earlier, is a smaller river, but it has just a massive amount of debris compared to the Columbia. Not sure why. But it's huge, and we had multiple log strikes on this boat. Nothing of super large size, but things like good size 2x4s, maybe firewood size pieces a little bigger. Twice we took some log strikes. We stopped to clear the debris, and then we didn't see that there was a whole mass of debris in front of us because it was dark. And we went forward, and within seconds we could hear the logs hitting the hull again. So we had to stop and clear the debris again within feet. They had the multiple sheriff's offices, the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and other support boats out there to help us, to guide us, to protect us. They would block deadheads and other obstacles that were in the water and whatnot. So that staff was absolutely phenomenal and critical. It was pretty cool. We had a good time. So
it was really cool.
Yeah, I think we're in it for next year. We're going to come up with some other decorations. Our decoration is pretty simple because, again, we decided a week before Christmas ships, and then we went to Vegas. So there wasn't a lot of time to decorate. Yeah. But they did good. Yeah.
So now, we have a year now to plan.
It's like
so we'll probably do it the month of.
Oh yeah, it's like Christmas shopping. That's what the 24th is for, is to do your shopping. So we'll start. No, we'll probably decorate the boat, maybe around Thanksgiving or something like that. We can plan something out ahead of time, so we have time to deal with any problems. I think this coming up year, we're just going to run the lights off the generator and just run the generator rather than try to use the inverter or anything else. just keep it simple. I need to find a way to kind of soundproof the generator a little bit and keep it out of the rain. I wish they made the generators where they were waterproof, but they don't. At least not the ones we have. So, but it was fun.
What surprised you?
How much I enjoyed it. I knew I would, because I love being on the boat. That's part of the deal. You take people who, most of these people have a passion for being on the water. They absolutely love it. And these guys, they take their personal vessels. They're not getting paid. They pay for their own gas, their own repairs, insurance. Almost everything is paid for by the owners of the boats. The only thing that really wasn't for us was a few hosted dinners and the slip at River Place Marina. We didn't have to pay for that. That was sponsored by River Place. Thank you, River Place. But we're, the Christmas ship captains and boat owners, they're out there risking their boat to bring some joy and stuff like that to people. And so you take a group of people who are passionate about something like this, their boating life, their craft, as in boats, and then you give them an opportunity to do some good with it. And it really gives it creates a situation where they can come together as a community and do something pretty amazing. Yeah,
and it's definitely different boating in the winter when it's cold and wet, and the dock's really slippery, and you definitely don't want to go in the water.
Oh no.
But I did feel good that I think most of the people that we were boating with were really smart boaters. They knew what they were doing, so we weren't doing that alone. Sometimes when you're on the water, you don't have that.
Right.
But we have experienced boaters with us if anything bad happens.
Well, and there's some of those guys doing the Christmas ship, like Bearable. I think he's done it 41 years or something like that. I'm not sure the exact number. An insane amount of time. 41 years doing this. You gain a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience doing that.
Right.
And so as newbies to this program, we were really relying upon those people who had the experience to do it. And they really go at it. I mean, some of those guys with their decorations are phenomenal.
Didn't he not miss a single?
I think
was he the one that never missed any at all in the last?
I think in 40-something years he missed 3 days of Christmas shipping.
And Christmas ships here in Portland isn't like other places. They go for 3 weeks.
Right.
So it's almost non-stop every evening and weekend. So.
Right. Yeah. I think they give the Christmas shippers 2 nights a week off. And then but other than that, it's usually a Monday, Tuesday that you're running it. Then you're back out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you don't have to do every one.
Right.
You can pick and choose the events you want to do. But no,
which just makes it even more impressive that person had done it and only missed, what did you say,
3 days out of the entire 40-something years. That's pretty amazing.
We already missed 3 days.
We missed the first week because we were in Vegas. So, very cool. I can hear the boat slam. Something just bumped the boat. I think one of the bumpers did.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some wind and waves out there right now. But it's an absolute phenomenal time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we hope you guys enjoyed this little debrief. It's a little different kind of episode than what we usually put out, but because we were out multiple weeks, we wanted to really consolidate things down and just hit the high points and give you kind of a behind-the-scenes look from our perspective of what we did and what we experienced and how it was. So.
And if you have a boat and you live in the Portland area, I'm sure the Christmas ships would love to have more people join and participate. The more boats on the water, the more impressive it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and just real quick, on the biggest one was St. Helens. And I think that
wasn't the biggest one.
I thought it was the biggest one. It could have been the last weekend with the meet and greets.
Yeah.
But they had 40-something boats, 45 boats, I think is what I heard. And the train of boats from the lead boat to the tail boat was over a mile and a quarter long. That's impressive. And we're trying to average about 50 feet distance between each boat. So that just gives you an idea. Now, sometimes we the sailboats especially, because they have a little harder time going fast against the current. It stretched out to about a mile and a quarter, I think is what I heard. But yeah, and you think about 50 feet, it's at night. You don't have, a lot of time. You got to be paying attention. So, but she's right. If you've got a boat, come out and join us. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
See you next time.
Bye. Join us next time when we leave the boat behind and head to sunny Las Vegas.